Well, well, well. I'm in the kitchen again, baby. My grandson's coming over to stay the night with me, and my life partner, my baboo, as I call him, has been craving dressing, honey. Chicken and dressing. You know that's a whole meal by itself because you got so much chicken in it, you don't need anything else. Yeah, so that's what I'm making today. But I just wanted to hop on here because it got me thinking. It got me thinking as I'm in here shredding up my cornbread about the things that Daddy Dumpy Pants said yesterday. Yes, honey. Daddy Dumpy Pants, not only does he not understand what groceries are, dear, but he is under the assumption that when you go to the grocery store to buy food, you must show your ID. And I don't know about you, but I've never, ever, ever had to show my ID in order to buy food. I think Daddy's confused. I do know a whole lot of the Red Hat crew spend most of their grocery money on Natty Light and White Claw. You require an ID to buy alcohol. He also said that apparently when you go to the gas station, you need an ID too. That's new to me. I've never had to show my ID to buy petrol. Who knew? I didn't know. Anyway, y'all want to hear about the dressing, dear? What I have here is 2 pans of cornbread, buttermilk, hot rise, Martha White cornbread. I made 2 pans of it, let it sit out overnight to kind of get a bit stale, and now I've shredded it up. Here I have almost an entire shredded chicken. Everything but 2 of the legs that I ate. Yeah, baby, I wanted a little bit of that dark meat before I got to shredding up everything else. I couldn't help myself. It was good. But yeah, so I got 2 breasts up in here and 2 thighs up in here and a little bit of the wing meat too. And I got it all, a full bowl of it. And I'm just going to toss it in here on top of this already made, dried out cornbread and mix it up. Now on the stove right now, I've got a couple stalks of celery and a big old onion cut up, sizzling in half a stick of butter. Can you see it, baby? And it's just cooking down. We're going to cook it down. As the onions start to get translucent and your celery starts to shrink a bit. Let's go ahead and cut that off because it's looking like it's done. And then we're going to let that cool a little bit while we're mixing up our meat and everything. Then we're going to toss that celery and that onion in there, that sauteed celery and onion and butter. We're going to put it in here and add all of our seasonings, dear. Now, really all you need if you're doing it quick and easy is just some poultry seasoning. But if you're like me and you want extra sage, you're going to have to add yourself some extra sage too. And don't be stingy with it, baby. Don't be stingy with it. You can be very liberal. You can just be very liberal with it. And put it in there. And our salt and our pepper too. And I've got some chicken stock on the stove cooling off. Because we don't want to put it in there too hot, baby. Yes. All right. Now I'm just going to let this sit while my celery and my onions cool a bit. We don't want them piping hot when we pour them in. We want them to be cooled down just a bit. They ain't got to be cold. They just need to be cooled down a bit. We don't want them too hot. So while that's cooling down, I'm going to slip off my gloves for a minute. Pause the video and take a little break. And I'll be back in just a few minutes, baby. And we're going to toss in our celery and our onions and all of our chicken stock. And get to mixing it up and add more seasons and such. Okay, baby, I'm back. Now I'm just going to toss this in here. All those onions and celeries. And I'm going to put my gloves back on and just mix it all up. I got my gloves on, honey. See, that's why you got to let the celery and onion cool a bit because you're going to get in here with your hands, baby. You're going to get in here with your hands, so you don't want it too hot. Look at all that chicken in there. It's going to be so good. We're just going to keep mixing it up and mixing it up so it's all distributed evenly as best as it can be. It ain't got to be perfect, honey. Not in any kind of way. Not in any kind of way. But you do want to get it mixed up pretty good. And if your cornbread's a little stale, that's why I make it the night before and let it sit out so it can be a little bit stale. You don't want fresh cornbread. Fresh corn, you're going to have to cook it longer. If you use fresh cornbread that's already hot and popping, and you put all that broth in there, you're going to have to cook it a little bit longer, honey, because it's going to be way, way moist. But we're going to get it way moist anyway. I like to put so much chicken stock and broth in here that it's just a mushy, mushy, wet mess, honey. Mushy, mushy, wet mess. All right, that looks pretty good. Mixed up pretty good. Let's spread it all out. Spread it all out like that right there. Ooh, baby. Get my gloves off and get my stock. And I got quite a bit of it going on here. We're just going to start pouring it in. I know that looks like a lot, honey, but it's not. You just want to kind of mash it up in there. And as you mash it, you're going to see some of that moisture come up the top. That's how you know you got enough. If it ain't wet, wet, you ain't got enough, honey. You want it to be wet, wet. It's wet. You hear it? It's wet. Now, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more sage and seasonings on it. Some parsley, some paprika, honey. You need your paprika. All along the top, baby. Just little sprinkles. Just sprinkles, baby. A little bit more sage. Alright, now I'm going to let this sit here. I'm going to cover it with foil and put it in the refrigerator. When I get ready to cook it, I got some boiled eggs in there that I'm going to peel and slice up and put along the top of it. All along the top of it, sprinkle some more salt and pepper on it, cover it with some foil, pop it in the onion. I'm going to pop it in the onion, honey. How the hell am I going to get a whole dressing inside of an onion? Baby, I'm tired, and I got to be up all night tonight with the grandbaby. But I'm going to pop it in the oven, covered, for quite a while. You know it's done when it's time, when you can't get the water to mash up anymore. When it's all absorbed in there. And then you're going to take the foil off the top of it, baby, and let it kind of crisp up on the top. Just a little bit. Not too much, because you're going to have those eggs on there. Yes, baby. And then all you need is some good gravy and some cranberry sauce. Now, I got some chicken giblets that I'm going to fry up a little bit with some butter to use to make my gravy. And it's going to be delicious, baby. It's going to be delicious. Anyway, that's the dressing. Now, I got to hop off of here because I got more cleaning to do before that toddler comes through. You know what I mean, baby. Ooh, them toddlers are something else.